All right, as regular listeners of the Eye on College Basketball podcast know, we do not have guests on this show. It's just me and Norlander or one of our coworkers when one of us is unavailable. That's it. But we do not consider Leaky Black to be a guest as much as he is a part of this podcast. And we are now lucky enough to be joined by the legend himself. We're no longer just sometimes talking about Leaky Black. We're talking with Leaky Black. Lockdown Leaky has entered the chat. Leaky Black, thank you for being here. How you doing on the verge of starting what's going to be your fifth season of college basketball for the number one team in the entire country?
Man, just blessed to be here, man. Thank you guys for having me. You know, I've heard a lot about you guys, about the podcast and what you guys have going on. I really appreciate you guys, for sticking with me. So it means a lot.
No, we appreciate that. So let's start there. When was the first time somebody said, hey, do you know these two idiots are talking about you nonstop on a podcast? When did that first come up?
Man, I think I was in the tunnel during the Final Four. We were doing before the Duke game. We were doing like interviews. And one of our media guys came up to me and he like told me about like every morning, well, like before y'all start the show, y'all like give me a shout out. And he was just saying, I forget what it was. I think it was like a mutual friend with you guys or something like that. And I like took a picture with him. But yeah, that's how I got the information.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah.
So I mentioned you guys are number one in the preseason AP poll. This is your fifth season of college basketball. You're taking advantage of the COVID year that the NCAA offered to all student athletes. Was it a no-brainer for you to come back, or did you have to think about it at all?
No, it was a no-brainer, honestly, because throughout the entire year, everyone wants to be wanted, and throughout the entire year, Coach Davis and his wife and Big May and all the coaching staff, everyone's like family. They was just telling me, how much they really wanted me to come back, how much they needed me to come back. And obviously, with what I've been through in my college career, hearing that from everyone, it's like, oh, I got to come back. It's just like, it feels good to be wanted somewhere. And that's what persuaded my decision.
Speaking of that, Leaky, take us inside the team dynamic. We're gonna have some fun, and we got some goody questions for you. But I do want to hit on a couple of basketball centric, team centric stuff. So almost everyone's back. You guys are preseason number one, but with everyone that could come back and having eligibility deciding to return, is that something now that you're 4 or 5 months, 6 months removed from it, Leaky? Was it something that you and Caleb, Armando, RJ, like, did you talk about that a lot, together, face to face, text about it? Or was it something where it was more each of those guys kind of decided on their own with their families, and then you didn't know for sure? I'm just wondering if maybe you had an indication, even, a few days or a week or so before it was actually publicly known how you guys were going to come back and do it together. Because I only asked because with Florida, Joakim Noah, this was back when you were a youngster. They basically got together and like, no, we want to do this. We're going to run this back. And they kind of made it as a collective. I wondered if you guys did it that way, or if it was more like you kind of went your own way after the Final Four and then convened together after you made your decisions.
Well, honestly, right after the Final Four, I think we were like on a plane. We were getting on our plane or something like that. And I think I made like a quick group chat, me, RJ, Caleb, and Armando. And I was just like, we got to talk about this. Like, we're going to have to figure out like what we're doing kind of thing. I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along those lines. And I think Mondo just hit me back like, yeah, we'll talk kind of thing. And I feel like we all kind of knew, except for Caleb. We literally didn't know what Caleb's decision was until I woke up and seen the video, let me reintroduce myself video thing. I didn't know that. We were shocked. We were happy to have him back, obviously. And Caleb was the only one I think that was we didn't really know for sure.
Okay. Well, were you giving him a little bit of grief there, or were you trying, he's trying to weigh whether or not he's going to go be an NBA pick, and so you want to respect that process. Like, he viably could have been drafted into the league, but you're also teammates, really good friends. So you say you didn't know, like, were you almost, or anyone else on the team, like, playfully hounding him, like, come on, dude?
I was nagging him every day because we still had workouts and stuff. I was seeing him in the gym, he was still working out. I was still working out. I was like, bro, come back. Like, what are you doing? Like, come back, bro. Like, after you see how much fun we just had, like, run that back. And he was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Da, da, da. And eventually made that decision.
One more follow-up on that. So when he makes the video and then you see it, like, do you give him even more crap about that? Be like, hold on a second. You had like the social media team in on this and you don't even tell me? Like, how do you not like give him serious grief for weeks at a time over that situation?
I mean, you got to respect the way he wanted to handle it. You know, he wanted to be like a big surprise kind of thing, and I respect it. But yeah, I was kind of mad. He made me wait. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to get the inside scoop before everyone else did, but it's all good. I'm just glad to have him back.
You realize if he doesn't come back, that's like 20 extra shots a game you might get.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to go back to last season for a moment. I was actually in Charleston on doing sideline reporting for CBS Sports Network when you guys got pushed a little bit by Charleston. I was in Vegas when you guys got run off the court by Kentucky. At one point, you're 12-6 overall. You're just 4-3 in the ACC, and folks were starting, myself included, to question everything. Like what is going on with this team? And then obviously you flip it. What was the key to overcoming that rough start and becoming, literally one of the best teams in the country?
Just being persistent, and trusting our work. We put a lot of work in every day, and it's like our practices are super tough. Some would even say tougher than the games, believe it or not. But just trusting our work and just believing in each other. That's the biggest thing. I don't think at the beginning we really believed in each other. It was kind of a new group. Everything was just so new, and everyone would just try to be the hero instead of being able to look down the line and be like, I could trust that guy, and he could trust that guy. And that's what made us, come together after Wake Forest and Miami when they beat the smack out of us, back to back. We got back into the locker room, and Dewey, one of our seniors, he just kept us all in the locker room. It was probably like midnight by this time. Kept us in the locker room. It was just like, we got to figure this out. We had a deep conversation, an uncomfortable conversation we needed to have. And from that point on, it was Virginia Tech. And then we just started building from there. And obviously ACC tournament was like a couple games out after that. And we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but we could tell we were starting to flip the script.
And let's fast forward to the end. You're in the national championship game. You're up 16 points at one point on Kansas, up 15 at the half. How often do you think about that? Like, man, I'd love to play those final 20 minutes one more time, because you were, in many ways on the verge of being a national champion.
I think about it literally every single day, like literally every day. And, is, something me and Mondo just, we talk about it almost every day. We just kick ourselves in the foot about it just because we literally know how much better we were as in that team, but I mean, what happened, and it's like, there's no going back in time and doing it, but it's just, that's what makes the beauty of this season coming up so special, just because we get to do it for a whole year and not just for the Final Four or March Madness tournament,
With that being said, and as you are projected to be #1 team in the country, it's well earned, Leaky. I'm sure you've been asked about this a little bit as we lead into games starting upcoming here, but do you feel a sense of like significant pressure around the team that's either self-imposed or from just general college sports fans, college basketball fans, the media that has put you at #1, right? Do you feel that? And having made the run you made to the title game, doing what you did, going from having that, big time meeting in the locker room, going till midnight, and then, winning that Cameron, going all the way to the title game, going through that, is that actually helping you mentally, personally, and as a team prepare for whatever pressures that may or may not exist amongst that group right now?
I mean, yeah, I said this in a previous interview, it's cool to have the one across our names, but at the end of the day, we've always had North Carolina on our chest. We're everyone's, target at the end of the day, regardless if we're ranked #1 or not ranked at all. People still want to, oh, that's North Carolina. I want to give them my best game kind of thing. So we've always had that. We understand what comes with that. We're all amateur professionals at this point, and we really understand the game. We understand everyone's going to give us their best shot, and regardless, we're just going to take a game at a time. And me personally, I don't think there's no pressure for me, because after what I went through 2 years ago with literally probably one of the worst teams in Carolina history to now being ranked on the best team, it's just, you know, my career is different, and I feel like I've been lowest of the low, and now I've felt almost the highest of the high, you know, just a half away from it. But yeah, I don't think it's any pressure for me personally.
I want to hit on that exact thing you just mentioned. How does that happen? How being on one of the worst Carolina teams, you know, in history, and then doing that to growing the way you did last year,
Mm-hmm.
what elements on a team come into play? How do attitudes change? What are the things that, you know, lead you know, something small to grow bigger and bigger? Because a lot of teams would not be capable of that. I don't know how much time you spend thinking about it, but clearly you guys were able to flip not just one switch, but like, you know, a half dozen, if not a dozen of them. What are the factors that went into you guys changing the trajectory of the program?
Right. I feel like this is the fact that we felt like we were at rock bottom, you know, and we felt that, and it's just like, okay, well, we can't play any worse than what we're doing, so let's just take it a game at a time. And then we just started, you know, just playing freely, I guess, and that's what kind of turned it around, you know. And then you see this guy having fun with it. You see the potential we really have, and the opportunity is still there for us to make it. And it's just, you know, we just got it. It's like a snowball effect. You know, Brady's in the middle of the huddle, you know, cussing everyone out, and you know that kind of leads to like just more people wanting to care. That leads to you getting that extra box out or diving on the floor. You know, people showing that they actually care. You know, it's like a snowball effect, and that's what it was.
The highlights of last season, I think, were obviously the 2 wins over Duke. You go to Cameron Indoor, Coach K's final home game, and you win that to, I think, make casual fans realize, oh, wow, this North Carolina team is legit. This isn't the same team we were watching in November, December, January. Then again, you meet them in the Final Four. You play a role in ending Mike Krzyzewski's Hall of Fame career. What was that like as a Carolina player to hand Coach K 2 losses so deep in the season, his final home loss, and then the final loss of his career?
It was beautiful. You know, it was beautiful. I can't even put it into words. You know, just because, you know, he's like one of the greatest coaches of all time. You know what? Everyone's, oh, I'm a Duke fan, blah, blah, blah. You just get tired of hearing it. So it's just, yeah, go home. Now what?
So Duke and Carolina fans obviously don't like each other. But what about the players? Do you guys ever kick it together? Do you have any friends in the Duke program?
I don't. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. I do not. I don't hang out. I live alone. Honestly, I don't. My teammates don't hang out with any of the Duke players. But me personally, I live alone. I don't hang out with any of the Duke players. I don't talk to any of them. I don't do that.
That's interesting there. Okay. So you live
we don't talk to any of the guys at ESPN.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
I can't speak.
But growing up in, listen, and our producer lives in Charlotte. So is it Concord or Concord?
It's Concord.
Concord. Okay, so
Concord. Gotta get with me about that too. I say Concord. Yeah, it's not Concord. It's Concord.
Okay, listen. I want to be sure that I'm on it. So Concord. If I go there, overwhelming North Carolina. Like, it's one of those things where, like, the state obviously belongs to UNC. Nationally, Duke is as popular, if not more. But in where you grew up, like, if I go to a restaurant on a Friday night and there's 80 people in there, is a situation where like 60 are UNC fans and maybe 10 are like State and Duke? What's the ratio breakdown?
If you go in, probably 73 of those people will be North Carolina fans.
Okay.
And the next 7 will be, oh, I'm a Duke fan. But, like, not really Duke fan. They're just, you know.
Yeah. No, continue.
I mean, they're not really Duke fan. I don't know how to describe it. You know how everyone is, oh, I'm a Duke fan, but don't really know anyone out there. They're just saying they're a Duke fan just because everyone else is like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know.
I've got friends who are from Texas, live here in Memphis, and they're Duke fans.
Yeah,
those type of people.
Yeah. I know some friends back home that's just like, they say they're Duke fans, but I guarantee you he has not watched like a game. But like, he just says he's a Duke fan. But that's just, I don't know. That's just how he is.
Okay. On that note, you got to pick one or the other. What was more, like, you've had, 7 months to reflect. What was more satisfying, or what feels more satisfying now? The win, like, I was there at both of those games. I was in Cameron for the final Coach K home game. We both know the week's worth of hype, right, going into that. What was more satisfying for you, to walk out of Cameron that night handing him the L in his final home game, or to beat Duke in the Final Four on the biggest stage, and what was his final game, and what was the first time ever between those programs ever meeting in the NCAA tournament. If you had to pick one, what was actually for your soul as someone who hates Duke and plays for Carolina, which of those would you say has the narrow edge of the other as being more exciting?
That's so tough.
I'm making you pick one.
That's so tough. You gonna make me pick one?
I mean, one of them, 2 days later, you're losing the title game, but you still get the win. The other one, the regular season's over and you're walking out of their gym. He's never coaching in that building again. If you got to pick, which would it be?
Well, I could tell which one you like the most.
No,
the one at Cameron. Just because that's literally his last home game, and it's like, yeah, go home. Like you never will play a game in here again.
And then he had to come back out and talk to the crowd. How often do you guys watch that and just sort of laugh?
I've never seen it. I've heard about it. I might go. I might YouTube that after this. I need to see that. But yeah, I think honestly, the playing at Cameron, his last game there, seeing all the former Duke guys there in the crowd, and they thought they were going to win that whole thing. I loved it. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, Matt. I think I like the one at Cameron.
So you are lockdown leaky, as the shirts say. You've spent 4 years playing college basketball. Who's the toughest guy you've had to guard? Who stands out to you?
I mean, Paulo.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to give it to him, bro. He's like huge. He's like 6'10", 6'11". He's like super young, but he's just so like built. And it's just, I don't know. He was just, he had literally no weakness. He had no weakness at all. And he was probably the toughest guy I had to guard for sure.
You played 3 seasons for Roy Williams. You played 1 season for Hubert Davis. What's the biggest difference between them as coaches in terms of their approach, how they go about doing things?
Honestly, I don't think it's really much any difference besides the fact that Coach Davis doesn't use cuss words and Coach Williams doesn't hold back. I feel like that's the difference between those two. They still approach the game the same way. Coach Davis was still on Coach Williams' staff for like however many years, so he still has his little tactics of like going about like our practice plan and like going about games and stuff. But it's just, I feel like just our offense is different. That's just pretty much it. Our offense. I'm not sure. Besides the fact that Coach Williams would use more cuss words than him, I don't think there's any difference.
Okay. Does Hubert ever cuss?
No, never.
Yeah, he never does. That's one of his things. Never.
He seems like a genuinely pleasant human being. Is he that way on a day-to-day basis?
He is, and it's like you don't really know how to take it because it's like you don't really come across that too often, But yeah, he's really a genuine guy, and like I said, him, putting a little bug in my ear every practice last year, telling me how much he wanted me to come back. It was just like, dang. Like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and play for him. Like, I'm like, regardless, before all the March Madness stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm coming back. So,
okay, good to know. I got some rapid fire ones coming up here, but a couple more just about you. You're obviously an elite defender. It's why you made our list of the top 101 players in the country. But take us inside a little bit about your craft. Aside from work ethic and dedication, everyone knows those two things go into being a consistently great defender. So get rid of those two obvious factors. What are the tools or elements that you would point to that have made you one of the best overall players, particularly on that end of the floor, that people might not just be aware of, the things that go into it that, that create such a high level defender?
I think just my anticipation, my IQ. I've always been a point guard, so my IQ has just been, I feel like it's been like advanced for a basketball player. But and then like my wingspan, obviously, I'm pretty sure it's like 7'3" or 4 or whatever. But I think just like my anticipation, the IQ, the wingspan, matched with like the physicality that I try to play with, and it's really all just mental on that side of the ball. Honestly, you say you're playing your little brother, you get mad at him, and like he scores on you a couple times, you get mad at him, you're like, yeah, nah, he's not scoring anymore. You're gonna get physical, you're gonna do whatever it takes for him not to score again. And that's just kind of like the mindset I try to go in with, just on that side of the ball.
All right, let's flip it on the head. You said Paulo was the toughest player you had to defend, but what about guys that have actually either defended you personally or UNC? 2 or 3 guys that you think are the best defenders in the country in your experience, and they can be active now, or guys that you faced earlier in your college career. What would be some guys that spring to mind?
I can't give it to one guy, but I would say Virginia. Like the entire Virginia team is just like they're just so disciplined. They make like no mistakes on that side, you know. Especially like my early years coming in, like my early college years, you would have it would be like 20 to 30, like in the second half, like halfway through the second half. So it's like, those guys are tough.
Leaky, was it legitimately like stressful or maddening as a player to prep and then like go through that? Like, was it hell? Like I love being a college basketball player, but this is like, I don't like my life right now having to do this.
It sucked just because you have to slow down. It's like you have to be so disciplined the entire shot clock. Like and if you don't box out, they get the rebound. The entire shot clock again. It's literally annoying.
All right, let's wrap the interview with some rapid fire, get to know Leaky questions. I got some hoops questions, some non-hoops questions. I got 20 in all. So here we go. First of all, your first name is Rashawn. Who calls you by that? Who does not call you by Leaky in your life?
My mom and my sister Mariah are the main ones that call me Rayshawn. But RJ and Puff, they might throw a little Rayshawn in there every now and then, but they're not allowed to call me that.
They're not allowed. What happens if they do call you that? What happens?
They know what happens. I'm not allowed to speak on it, but they know what happens.
All right, fair enough. When did you actually start to be called Leaky? Was that, grade school, middle school, high school? When did it actually really catch on?
Man, ever since I could remember, I've just been called Leaky. It was times I would forget my name was really Rayshawn. I thought Leaky was like my real name. So
fair enough, man.
Yeah.
All right, you're a well-conditioned Division I college basketball player. Do you know how fast you can run a mile?
Man, Carolina mile. I give 5 minutes.
Pretty good.
Flat. 5 minutes flat. Yeah.
I am interested in this. Now, you and I both know well enough that there are some workout stuff, be in the weight room or other stuff that some guys hate this way more than they hate that. What's the workout routine or activity that you hate doing the most?
Chin-ups. I hate chin-ups, but like I'm so good at them, but I just hate them.
If I asked you right now, chin-ups, one go of it, how many can you do? What's your personal record?
Oh, well, we never like rep them out like that. I bet you I can do at least 20, 25. I can give you 20, 25 right now.
I think I can give you 3. Parrish, can you give me 3?
I can give you. I'm not sure I can give you 1.
It's mental. That's mental.
I can give you 1. Give you 1.
It's mental.
I may need to see that. Next one, favorite food spot in Chapel Hill.
Man, they just shut it down. I got to get a new one, but it's called Red Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Bowl. Get sesame chicken and fried rice. I love it. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. What food do you hate the most?
Beef stew.
Mm.
Meatloaf. Hate meatloaf.
You and me both, man.
Yeah, hate meatloaf.
Yeah, not there.
Love meatloaf.
We've actually had this conversation on this podcast before. I'm a pescatarian, so anything on that, I'm with you. Who's the funniest person on the team?
Jalen Washington, off the top of my head.
What makes him funny? Is it stuff like more like when you're away from the practice court, or is it more like he's funny no matter what environment you're in?
Yeah, actually, it might be Puff, but Jalen Washington, he's just like so soft spoken and like I don't know. He's one of those ones you just like look at him and you just start laughing. Like I'm at that point with him now. He's just so funny. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Love to hear it. Play at Carolina, obviously a tremendous Jordan brand, Jordan influence. I'm wondering if you are a sneakerhead or not. How many pairs of shoes do you think you own?
At least 50.
Gosh, how do you deter? Like, are there some that you never wear? Then, like, are there some like they're just for show, or do you try and rotate in all of them, on a weekly, monthly basis?
I literally wear my Crocs every day. Like I wear my Crocs every single day. I don't care anymore. I'm the old head. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't have anyone to impress. I'm here to do what I got to do.
Goes to the biggest Nike school in the country and wears Crocs. Love it.
Are they Carolina blue? Or are they just like? Oh, he's for the video people. He's getting them right. Oh, there we go.
Okay, those are nice.
Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Everything else fell off. I have plenty, but yeah.
Okay.
Every day, my go-to every day.
How about that? All right. So we catch you walking around campus. That's what you're rocking.
I promise you, I'll be rocking those. Yeah.
Rocking the Crocs. How about that? Do you have any hidden talents, by the way?
I really can draw. I really can dance. I just had a commercial come out. I really feel like I'm a great actor too. I don't know.
Ease Plumbing. Ease Plumbing, right?
Yeah, we just had another commercial drop last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
check it out. Go check it out.
Dig that, man. Yeah, and you're able to obviously have NIL opportunities with that. We're wearing literally the Lockdown Leaky shirts.
Literally, yeah.
So yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful benefit with that. Okay, would you rather spend an hour in a hot air balloon or go skydiving? You have to choose between one of the two.
Skydiving. Get it over quick.
I'm with you on that. GP, what would you do?
Yeah, I would do neither, but I'm with Leaky. Like, let's just get this done. I don't need to be sitting in a balloon for an hour. Let's just get it done.
I'm with you on that. Are you aware that, the genesis of you getting a shout out at the start of basically every episode is my man GP said, Leaky Black sounds like just one of the best stage names ever. Are you aware just how great the stage name Leaky Black is? And have you ever recorded a mixtape or at least debated internally if you should record a mixtape?
No, I've never thought about that ever. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I used to be embarrassed of the name, but
oh, dude, you've got the best name in college basketball.
I appreciate that.
You've got the best name.
Like if you said Quavo and Offset are going to do a mixtape with Leaky Black, that like sounds right.
Okay, you're right. I see. I never thought of it that way.
It's beautiful, man. On that note, top 3 to 5 groups, artists, bands of all time for you, what would they be?
Ooh, I'm so indecisive. I'm gonna throw Rod Wave. Rod Wave, Lil Uzi, and Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
No J. Cole local. I remember I talked to Dennis Smith like 5 years ago, man. I think he actually knows J. Cole. They're actually really, really tight.
I've spoken to J. Cole, but I'm not that close with him. So
okay. There you go. Do you know the exact measurement on your wingspan?
We just did this in the summer. I'm pretty sure it was about 7'2" or 7'3".
7'2", 7'3", my man. That is just outrageous. What's one rule about basketball you'd actually like to see change? What's something about the game that you feel like maybe you encounter relatively often that you wish it was another way?
I don't know. That's tough.
Okay. Marvel movies, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Endgame.
Endgame. Okay. I can't. You know what? I might be with you on that. Yeah. I was in the theater when the climax of that movie happened.
What was your reaction?
It was genuinely like goosebump inducing, and with the people there, like that was. I don't think I'd ever experienced anything in a movie theater like that before. Yeah,
we were literally standing up, like like when the part that you're talking about.
Yeah. Favorite Marvel superhero would be who?
It was Hulk, but the past few movies he's been letting me down. So I got to go with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, that's a classic. My boys would completely agree with you on that entirely. Would you rather swim in the ocean or build a sandcastle?
I can't swim, so I'm gonna build a sandcastle.
Ooh, okay, there we go. See, we're learning a little bit more about you day by day. All right, you were born June 14th, 1999. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, the #1 movie the week that you came out of the womb was Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me. Leaky Black, have you ever seen that movie?
Austin Powers?
That's not the first one. I think this is the second one. The Spy Who Shagged Me is #2. That's the Heather Graham one.
No, I'm not sure. It's not the one with Beyonce, is it?
No, that's the third one.
Nah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them though.
Okay. All right, there we go. It was at the time it set a box office record for I guess that point in the year. All right, just a few more. More of a night owl or early bird? What are you, Leaky?
Night owl for sure.
You and me both. Yeah. All right, how about this one? Be honest. The day of the game, were you more nervous before you had to play 15th seeded St. Peter's in the Elite Eight or the rematch versus Duke in the Final Four?
Believe it or not, I'll have to give it to St. Peter's.
Because
we just didn't know how they got there. It was just like you didn't know what to expect. You were like, dang, are they really like that good? Like they beat Kentucky, beat all these teams. Like, yeah, so St. Peter's.
Yeah, how about that? That's not so surprising. You don't know your enemy in that case. So very intriguing. All right, dogs or cats?
Dogs. I'm terrified of cats.
Yeah, not a cat person whatsoever. Yeah. All right. How about what do you think there are more of in the world, Leaky Black? Do you think there are more light bulbs or pillows in the world?
Pillow.
Yeah. I want GP's thoughts too.
I'm gonna go light bulbs.
Yeah, light bulbs.
Yeah, I mean you gotta have light bulbs in every room. You have to have pillows in every room.
It has light bulbs.
You think you got more light bulbs in your house than pillows right now?
No.
How many pillows you got? I'm talking throw pillows, the whole deal.
Yeah, I don't know. My whole bed is covered. I have like a king size bed. It's covered with pillows.
Yeah, but you got to take into account like office buildings. You got to have restaurants. You got to have light bulbs everywhere, and you're not gonna have pillows in those places.
Right.
A baseball stadium. You got to have light bulbs everywhere. No pillows.
That's true.
Could be true. Okay, what about this one? How about more tables or televisions in the world? Think about all the rooms that will have like 50 screens to them. There might be 1 or 2 tables in that room alone. What do you think? More tables or TVs?
I still give it to tables.
I think tables too.
Yeah, I think tables takes that. Yeah.
I think TVs might be a sneaky one. Listeners, we want your feedback too. All right, a couple more and then we are out of here. What is your favorite non-basketball sport to play and your favorite non-basketball sport to watch?
To play football. I think I was a big time quarterback in high school. That's me personally. That was my opinion. I think I was a big time quarterback.
Could you have played college football?
If I've never worked on it, and I think yes, I think I could. Yeah. To watch, probably boxing. Right
Ooh.
now. Yeah.
GP's with you on that one. GP's in a big boxing. What is it about boxing that draws you in?
I don't know. You know, my house, we used to have a movie theater in my house when I was younger, and we would have like these watch parties with Floyd Mayweather and that whole thing, and a lot of people would be over. You know, that was just like so fun. So I just always been into it.
Okay. 2 more. If you didn't play at Carolina, where would you have played college basketball?
Carolina.
Now, come on. Listen, you are on your way.
Who else recruited you? Who was the other finalist?
I mean, I committed when I was like 14. So
right.
you know, it was early in the process. As soon as I got the Carolina offer, it was like a month goes by. I started getting a lot of interest from like the school down the road and, you know, a couple of big schools. And, you know, it's just, I didn't care. I knew where I was going.
Right.
It really was though. Was that a deal where like you were a good basketball player at 7, 8 years old, and like at that young of an age, Leaky, you like had dreams of playing for North Carolina? Like, are you one of those type of stories?
Not necessarily, man. Because I was honestly the team down the road again. I was a fan of their squad.
Okay,
but I think my dad he was a big Tar Heel fan.
Yeah,
he was a big Tar Heel fan, and I just I knew I fit better in Carolina system than I would have over there. So
okay, last one. Why do you wear number 1 for your uniform?
When I was younger, my grandma would always tell me I was always number 1. You know, she was number 1, number 1, and you know, every time I see her, she was just, I don't know. So that's just the number that, you know, I've always would wear if I could get it.
And as part of it's, you know, an homage to your grandmother as well. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dig it, man. Leaky Black, thank you for joining us on the Ion College Basketball Podcast. GP, take it away.
Dude, thank you for being here. We know you're busy this time of the year. I can't say thank you enough for taking some time with us, and go have a great final season of college basketball. Maybe we'll see you at the Final Four again.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Hold on, before you wrap this, GP, if they make another run, do we want to we'll see. We'll actually know. And Leaky, you and I met at the Final Four. Like
that was you. I knew that was yeah. I'm sorry. I knew that was.
No, we're good. So we tried to make it, a 3-way meetup. Maybe we do it in this regard again. If they make another Final Four run, maybe we try. Final Four is super, super, super busy. But if you get there, maybe we put a bow on it. We come back around and
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and book it. Let's go ahead and book it.
It's
the great Leaky Black. Shouts to Devin Downey. Shouts to Chester, South Carolina. Shouts to Concord, North Carolina. Shouts to Huck Larnell, and shouts to Lockdown Leaky. Thank you guys once again for listening to the Ion College Basketball Podcast. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, including Apple Podcast and Spotify. Over at Apple, leave a nice review, 5 stars, type some words. There's more of us than there are of them. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please knock that out. Enjoy the start of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We're going to talk to you again real soon. Till then, take care.